Right now, the man accused of trying to poison his ex-girlfriends to death appears in court. What one of the victims said during his appearance.
And conditions are pleasant this afternoon, but rain chances do look to move in as we close out the second half of the week. We're taking a look at tomorrow and your 4th of July rain chances in the full forecast.
Also, nurses at a clinic in Janesville are set to go on strike tomorrow. Why the nurses say the strike is necessary. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening, I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. Thanks for watching.
The man accused in a plot to poison women in Dane and Rock counties received his bond today. Paul Van Dyne received a $37.5 million bond for 3 counts of attempted first-degree homicide, aggravated battery, recklessly endangering safety, and stalking.
Our Ellie LaLiberte was at his initial appearance in Rock County today and has more on what happened in court.
Tuesday, we heard emotional statements from the victim of this alleged poison plot and her mother, 26-year-old Amanda Bade, willingly identifying herself to the court.
I can't tell you that I'm terrified of this man because I'm not. I refuse to live in fear of anybody, but I am in danger.
The 26-year-old nursing student speaking to the court about a man she says she was never in a relationship with.
Paul has been playing professional assassin with undetectable weaponry against us all year.
According to court documents, Van Dyne and his girlfriend Andrea Whitaker tried 3 different times to kill Bade. The criminal complaint claims the pair broke into her car to poison her with cyanide, thallium, hydrogen sulfide, and Abrin.
I did not stand a chance. He meticulously planted death all around me, and he inadvertently poisoned several members of my family, including my middle school-aged sister, in his path to me. I firmly believe a man who chooses the gruesome demise of an innocent, loving girl over the well-being and safety of his children is irreparably deranged.
Bade's mother also speaking to the court, saying that the whole family has been impacted.
I feel watched and unsafe. Nothing can restore my sense of security. I go over and over in my head, how can I protect my daughters?
Whitaker is expected for a preliminary hearing in the Dane County Court tomorrow. Of course, we'll keep you updated both on air and online. But for now, reporting outside the Rock County Courthouse, Ellie LaLiberte, News 3 Now.
Ellie, thank you. Meanwhile, in Dane County, Van Dyne is also facing a $10 million cash bond.
A woman is facing multiple charges. Actually, we need to move on to another story now. A pedestrian has passed after a crash that happened. We do have some technical issues here with the script. Pedestrian crash that happened in Middleton near North High Point Road on Friday. Unfortunately, the victim has passed away in that incident. That crash remains under investigation. And a Madison man is facing charges after trying to run from police by jumping into Lake Monona over the weekend. Online court records show Brandon Reuter is charged with receiving or concealing stolen property, resisting or obstructing an officer, and 4 counts of misdemeanor theft. Now, here's what happened. Officers were called to East Washington Avenue at about 3:40 in the afternoon after a 911 caller noticed their bike had been stolen. So police say they found Reuter with the stolen bike in Old Brick Park. When they tried to speak to him, police say he pedaled away. Reuter eventually abandoned that bike and ran into Lake Monona. An uninvolved boat threw him a flotation device that then allowed officers on board to make an arrest. A Milwaukee neighborhood is shaken after an explosion from a homemade bomb damaged several garages. Take a look at the video. This was Saturday night. An incident caught on camera. You can see a Honda Pilot come to a stop in an alley before someone gets out and appears to put something on a parked car. The Honda drives off as the object detonates. Brittany Ortiz-Jurek came out of the house to find her car heavily damaged.
There were pieces of tennis balls everywhere. They caused damage to our vehicle. This is our family vehicle. They also caused damage to our garage and to the neighbor's garage, and everyone is pretty shook up about it around here.
Right now, police are referring to the tennis ball bomb as an illegal firework. The ATF has in the past issued warnings about the homemade devices. They classify the tennis ball explosives as, quote, an illegal destructive device. Drier conditions for tonight and tomorrow. Let's check your first warn forecast. Meteorologist Blaze Keller's out of the weather patio, Blaze.
And relative humidity is low this afternoon. The sun is shining. Temperatures a little bit cooler than this past weekend in the low 80s. It is a very pleasant Tuesday afternoon. And the conditions are going to change as we head into Wednesday. Likely going to be a little bit more humid. Temperatures temperatures will be slightly warmer on Wednesday as winds eventually turn out of the south, but not before we hang out in those low to mid 60s tonight underneath clear to mostly clear conditions. We do have an isolated chance or a marginal risk for severe weather on Wednesday. We're looking at mainly out towards the Fond du Lac area, parts of Dodge County, eastern Dane, Columbia, and Jefferson counties for the best chance for those showers and thunderstorms to make their way into the Concerts on the Square time frame. We could see some showers and thunderstorms off to the south and west, but those look to really dissipate or taper off as we go further into the late afternoon, into the early evening hours, and then we remain quiet for the rest of Wednesday night into Thursday before another round of rain arrives. So we talked about the Wednesday rain chance. We'll take a look at what the 4th of July has in store for us coming up in the full forecast.
All right, Blaze, thank you. We have a programming note we want to pass along. Tonight's Brewers game against the Mets in Queens. It won't be airing on television Wisconsin tonight. The game was rained out in New York City. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow, and we will be looking for a replacement game to televise in the future.
State legislative Republicans have struck a deal with Governor Evers on their biennial budget. The legislature says this budget will deliver tax cuts that save taxpayers nearly $1.5 billion. After the pandemic-era child care program ran out, Governor Tony Evers and Republican lawmakers decided on over $330 million for the state's child care industry. They also called for more than $256 million for the Universities of Wisconsin systems operations. The detail also included making home gas and electric payments exempt from sales tax during the summer months. Well, nurses at a clinic in Janesville are set to go on strike tomorrow after nurses in the Madison area took similar actions earlier this year.
Our Kyle Pozorski reports on the reasons behind it.
The strike will begin at approximately 7 o'clock Wednesday morning here outside the Mercy East Clinic in Janesville. The union representing the nurses says it's all about the rising cost of living and the healthcare provider not keeping up with wage increases. Speaking on the phone, UAW Local 95 President Judy McRoberts tells me the nurses who voted on authorizing the strike are looking for wage increases that keep up to the continued rise of inflation.
Everything has gone up. I don't have to tell you, and everybody can see it. You go to the grocery store, you go everywhere.
The last time Local 95 came to an agreement with Mercy Health was in 2022. Since January of that year, inflation has risen by more than 15%.
Well, they need wage increases to account for the cost of living. They seem to be able to pay their CEOs whatever they want.
Mercy Health Vice President Jenny Hallett says in a statement, quote, "We have always treated our 137 partners at Mercy Health East in a fair and equitable manner, consistent with our other 8,000 plus employee partners. Unfortunately, the union has rejected our offer." The healthcare provider did not provide to News 3 Now the specifics of their latest offer. In Janesville, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Mercy also says it will implement a strategic plan to continue providing care for patients. Union members say they don't know how long the strike will last.
Well, for decades, the Best of Madison poll has helped determine what you think are the best businesses, people, places, and experiences in the area. Voting for the Best of Madison 2025 is now closed, but we helped collect votes from 26,769 people for Madison Magazine. Voters picked the Best of Madison in multiple categories, bringing the total number of votes to more than 296,000. Madison Magazine will announce the winners in the October issue.
And we're also going to be talking about voting for Best Business to Work For in Madison, a yearly nomination and staff survey that provides local employers the opportunity to learn more about the engagement and satisfaction of their employees and honor those who deliver an outstanding work experience. Nominations for 2026 Best Places to Work are open now through August 22nd. Best Places to Work winners will be celebrated along with our Best of Madison Business Award winners at Madison Magazine's Best of Business annual luncheon. That is coming your way in February when that will happen with the Best of Madison businesses.
And coming up next, how the Red Cross is trying to encourage people to roll up their sleeves and donate blood this summer.
Plus, a vehicle goes up in flames after a crash north of Milwaukee. Hear from one of the people who helped rescue the driver before that car became fully engulfed.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
From surgeries to emergencies, blood can be a critical key to keeping a patient alive, but often in summer, donor turnout dips. The American Red Cross says the organization typically reaches its lowest supply in late summer, early fall, but they are trying to prevent shortages and calling all donors to give. While all blood types are needed, Type O is especially in high demand.
It used to be thought that type O negative was the only blood type that could be given to people in an emergency, but we actually know that even O positive can be given safely to about 80% of the population who needs blood.
Now, to encourage summer blood donation, the Red Cross has teamed up with the company Gooder, which all who come to give blood through the organization from July 1st through the 14th will get an exclusive pair of sunglasses while supplies last. If you're interested in making an appointment to donate blood, you can visit the American Red Cross website or use their mobile app. You can also call 1-800-RED-CROSS to schedule an appointment.
We have dramatic video of a fiery crash out of Milwaukee over the weekend. It was just after 12:50 a.m. on Saturday when Marcus Grant was driving home. That's when he came across this horrifying scene. 2 vehicles wrecked, one already smoking and no emergency crews in sight. Marcus says that he and a group of about 6 to 8 people stopped to help the unconscious driver.
See in the middle of the road this mushed little car. It was just all mushed up from an accident. So then I saw like 4 or so people on the passenger side trying to frantically pull this guy out. So I immediately got out of the car. I knew it was fresh. It was like I got there within seconds.
Police later did declare the area a crime scene. 1 person was detained and placed into the back of a squad car. Well, more ads are coming to the movies. Still ahead at 6, why one theater is making the change.
Plus, planning that July 4th spread, how you can keep costs down with your favorite foods.
And calm and cooler conditions leading up to the holiday. Blaze returns with a full forecast after a short break.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, you can expect to see even more commercials before movies at AMC theaters. The company made a deal with advertising giant National Cinemedia. AMC says the pre-show material, which includes trailers and other promotions, can last up to 30 minutes. The deal will mean more ad sales for AMC. The theater chain hopes this is a boost for its bottom line after seeing its worst first quarter earnings since 1996 out of the pandemic.
Independence Day is a holiday of backyard cookouts, barbecues, and block parties, but this 4th of July, you may want to skip the beef. Drought and rising grain costs have shrunk herd sizes, cutting supply. Wells Fargo reports that costs for July 4th gatherings have increased 2.2% year over year. So how can you minimize your budget this holiday? Economists recommend swapping burgers for chicken, buying in-season domestic produce like watermelon and strawberries, and considering a potluck-style gathering where guests bring some food or drinks.
Maybe think about this being an option for BYOB for your guests. Have them bring items, some different beverage items to help with that.
Wells Fargo says the ever-popular sparkling waters are up a whopping 5% this year. Your potato salad should be in good shape. Potatoes have held steady, but if you add hard-boiled eggs, that will cost you.
Well, there are plenty of fireworks shows to see in southern Wisconsin, with some starting as early as tomorrow. So get out your pens and make a list here. The festivities run from July 2nd through the 5th. Verona kicks off tomorrow night with a show at 9:30 p.m. at Hometown USA Community Park. Then you can catch fireworks in Madison Thursday and Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. That's at Warner Park. For a full list of all of the shows, you can visit our website at channel3000.com for all the communities. We'll keep you updated all week on other firework events in the area. Now, calmer weather for the next couple of days. Here's Blaze with the complete First Warn weather forecast.
Yes, we are looking at quiet conditions tonight and through most of Wednesday and Thursday for that matter too, and then we'll tack on Friday to that. But each day we could squeeze out an isolated 2-stray shower or thunderstorm. That begins Wednesday and continues through at least Saturday of your upcoming 4th of July weekend. But the 4th in itself is looking to stay dry. We're continuing to see those dry conditions after showers and thunderstorms wrap up Thursday night into early Friday. Southwesterly winds take over and hopefully clear out that cloud cover by the time we go into the early afternoon. So that means another hot and humid day as temperatures climb into those upper 80s and possibly the low 90s. Then we watch as clouds start to move in as we go into the overnight hours. We're at 10:30 on Friday night, and we're still dry, but the cloud cover is beginning to move on in, and then more rain chances move in as we go into Saturday, and that looks to continue Saturday night into Sunday. So we're going to continue to look at Friday evening, obviously Friday as a whole. as we make our way closer with the new weather data coming in, but it's been consistently keeping us on the drier side after topping out in those upper 80s to low 90s. As we go into that 9, 10, 11 o'clock time frame, we'll likely hang out in those upper 70s, mid to upper 70s, maybe a few low 80s there earlier on. Now, the rain chances look to stick with us through at least the start of next week, but they really peak there Saturday night into Sunday. This is not looking like a big system is going to be moving on through here. These are going to be kind of daily chances because we're at that time of year where we see those late afternoon, early evening rain showers. That begins Wednesday. We do have that isolated chance for a severe thunderstorm or two. Thursday, we lose a severe weather threat, but maybe more widespread chances for showers and thunderstorms. Friday, mentioned it already, but we're looking for that late afternoon, early evening chance. And then Saturday into the rest of your holiday weekend, we are looking at a chance for showers and thunderstorms, especially there Saturday night. But these are not heavy rain makers. These are not going to be storms or showers that hit you multiple times. Our next 7 days, I should say, we're looking at about a quarter to a half an inch of rain at best. Some spots over the last, 7 days or so, especially up there in La Crosse, Monroe, and Juneau County, even Vernon County for that matter, we don't need any more rain. We want that rain here across southern Wisconsin, and so the drier conditions are actually good. We do need to dry out spots across southern Wisconsin. There is a look at your forecast for tonight. Low 60s with quiet conditions. Winds will remain out of the west, but eventually turn out of the south as we go into the start of Wednesday, and that's going to kick temperatures into those upper 80s to low 90s, where we'll stay through at least Saturday of the upcoming weekend. And then the first full week of July, it looks like we're hanging out in the low 80s.
We'll take it. It's beautiful.
Well, I can't change it. So.
Well, they didn't need the rain in New York tonight either, but they got it, right?
They
so the
got
Brewers
it.
are done. For the
Brewers, they're not playing. Bucks making some big-time moves. Coming up in sports, Miles Turner to Milwaukee. How the Bucks added a big man to replace the absence of Brook Lopez, and who's no longer with the team. That's next on News 3 Now. Dame time is officially over in Milwaukee. After 2 seasons with the Bucks, the franchise has decided to waive Damian Lillard and stretch the remaining $113 million of his contract over the next 5 seasons. Well, they'll be paying him $22.5 million per year. Now, that move was made so they could bring in Miles Turner to the tune of a 4-year, $107 million deal. Turner spent the last 10 years as a Pacer, where he averaged nearly 16 points and 7 rebounds last season, while shooting a career-best 39.6% from three-point range. After 7 years with the Bucks, Pat Connaughton is on the move. The team traded him to the Hornets along with 2 future second-round picks. Connaughton was a fan favorite, competing in the Slam Dunk Contest in 2020 and the AmFam Championship Celebrity Foursome. Well, with him gone, that leaves just Giannis and Bobby Portis from Milwaukee's NBA championship team. But the Bucks, well, they weren't done yet. They re-signed Jericho Sims to a 2-year deal and added Gary Harris. Remember last year with the Magic, he averaged only 3 points and played a career-low 15 minutes per game. Well, speaking of additions, Greg Gard has added another piece to his roster for the upcoming season. After a junior year where he posted 9 points, nearly 4 rebounds per game at Temple, Elijah Gray is now a Badger. Why UW? Well, Gray said, quote, "There is a culture here of greatness at Wisconsin, and I'm excited to be part of that." Well, the Brewers got another off day thanks to Mother Nature. Their series opener against the Mets has been rained out, so they'll play a day-night doubleheader tomorrow in the Big Apple. First pitch for Game 1 is set for 12:10. And on the mat, Wisconsin Wrestling has announced their non-conference opponents. NDSU, Arizona State, Utah Valley, and Lock Haven are coming to the Fieldhouse this season. Their big road duel will be a trip to Cedar Falls to take on Northern Iowa. But the big non-conference tilt is when the Badgers head to Stoughton High School to take on Bucknell. So that's pretty cool.
Stoughton
High School.
They're a big wrestling school.
They
Makes
are.
some sense.
Perfect fit.
Well, coming up tonight, News 3 Now at 10, the Madison School District will receive millions of dollars less from the state than it did last year. We will tell you how that decrease in funding will affect our classrooms. That story and more coming your way tonight. Join us for News 3 Now at 10.
And now a final look at our forecast. A decent day today. It's been beautiful.
Yeah, that relative humidity has been very tolerable. So it's going to be a pleasant night, and we're going to turn the humidity back on for Wednesday into the mid to upper 80s. Winds are going to be light and out of the south. We will see a couple of showers and thunderstorms into the afternoon. 1 or 2 may be severe with strong winds and hail as the main threat. It does look to dry out, or at least maybe miss Dane County in time for concerts on the square. We keep hot and humid Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So mostly through your 4th of July weekend, it is going to be a hot and humid one. Speaking of Friday specifically, we will be breezy. We'll see morning showers and thunderstorms, but towards the evening and overnight, that's when the clouds will return after drying out. So I think we're going to hold up on the rain chances, and then the rain chances do move back in later Saturday, overnight, and stick around into parts of Sunday. If you're not a fan of the heat and humidity, just wait a few more days, because starting next week, we will be back in the low 80s.
Not all bad, but
no.
Some areas do need rain.
Yep, we're looking
to
at
the south.
Yes, Walworth, Rock, Lafayette, Greene counties, not up there in La Crosse County, where I think they picked up almost 6 inches around that area, 6 inches of rain in one day. They do not need any more.
Blaze,
Yes.
thank you. Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 6. Coming up next is Entertainment Tonight.
Our next newscast is up at 10, and you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.